Hi there. I have a question for you. Is your pet's blanket still sitting exactly where they left it? Is there fur on it, or their hair, an indentation where they slept, or a trace of their scent? Or perhaps it isn't that blanket at all. Is it that dirty, smelly, worn out toy your pet absolutely loved? And now that your pet is gone, you're the one who doesn't want to wash it or take it away. You may be wondering, why is this so hard? Why can't I just throw it away or move it or put it away for later? Is there something wrong with me? What if this isn't really, though, about the object? What if changing it feels more like losing one more piece of your pet, or even yourself as a pet parent? Hello, I'm Joanne Berg, and I can help. I'm a therapist with more than 20 years of experience and a certified grief educator, specializing in pet loss and bereavement. And no, there is nothing wrong with you. As a therapist and a certified grief educator, I'm trained to help people work through pet loss grief. And I use brief, practical, and it's called solution focused counseling. So my approach isn't about lecturing you about how you should grieve or try to fix you and tell you when you're ready to let something go. It's about starting with who you are, what you're experiencing right now, and what it means to you, and using your strengths that you already have to help you get to where you want to be. Sometimes only a few conversations may help you understand why something has become so difficult. And we can sort through together what may be underneath it. And we can decide, or I can help you decide what feels manageable for you. This can be anything related to your loss. But today, we're going to talk about your pet's stuff. And if you are watching, please know that this is not a trivial issue. This is part of grieving, and this is meaningful. Although others may minimize or dismiss your feelings, this channel absolutely does not. Pet loss is so hard and complex, and there is no wrong way to do any kind of grief. You are not alone, even though you may feel that way sometimes. So let's begin to talk about your beloved pet's stuff. Today, I'm going to cover with you why an ordinary object can suddenly become so important after your pet dies, why scent can be so powerful, why you may feel embarrassed about holding on to something and be embarrassed to talk about that. And I'm going to share a client experience with you with certain details changed to protect privacy, and how you then may decide what to do with your pet's belongings without forcing yourself into a decision you aren't ready to make. So before your pet died, the blanket may simply have needed washing. The toy may have been something you stepped over or thought about replacing. But after your pet dies, that same object can feel completely different. Think about how particular some pets can be about their belongings and routines. Your pet may have been very fastidious about their bed, their food bowl, their sleeping place, or things that were uniquely theirs. But that toy, that blanket, it could be worn, hairy, furry, chewed, and frankly, as we talked about before, a lot smelly. But your pet loved it exactly that way. So maybe you tried to take it away or clean it, but your pet wanted it right back. So here's an emotional reversal. Your pet isn't here to stop you from taking it away, but you're the one who doesn't want to. And that's normal. That old toy can become a wonderfully imperfect reminder of exactly who your pet was. Now, research sometimes shows that scent can bring back memories in a particularly vivid, emotional way and can create a strong feeling of being transported back to an earlier moment. Where a photograph reminds you what your pet looked like and a video lets you see them moving, scent is different. You smell the blanket or toy, and for a moment you may feel transported back to an ordinary evening when your pet was still there. That helps explain why washing something can feel more than cleaning it. You may know logically that washing a blanket or a toy cannot erase your pet. Emotionally, however, losing that scent can feel like another goodbye. Perhaps you smell the blanket or toy. Maybe you keep the bed exactly where it was, or haven't moved the food bowl. But you haven't told anyone. You may worry that someone will think, shouldn't you be moving on? Isn't this behavior odd for you? Eventually, that imagined judgment can become your own. Am I being ridiculous? Am I too attached? But instead of judging yourself, let's work together so that you can become curious. And then you may ask yourself, what does keeping this object give me right now? Perhaps the answer is simply, it helps me feel close to my pet. Now let me give you a client experience. I'll call this person Alex. Alex contacted me after watching one of my videos, and she was finding it hard to function after the loss of her pet in many areas. She timidly told her story initially. She was quite focused on her pet's battered fabric toy that had been carried around the house for years. It was covered in hair and worn, and as Alex put it, pretty smelly. Before the cat died, Alex sometimes joked about finally throwing it away. Afterwards, Alex couldn't do it. The toy stayed where the pet had left it, and she would start to cry or panic if she thought of moving it. Alex felt embarrassed telling me this and said, "It sounds ridiculous. It's a dirty old toy." But I didn't ask her, when are you going to throw it away? That's not my business. I asked, what would changing anything about that toy mean to you? After a pause, Alex was able to put it into words and say, it feels like one of the last things that is still exactly the way it was when my pet was here. An aha moment. Now we weren't really talking about a toy. We were talking about another painful goodbye that Alex wasn't ready to make. So maintaining a connection with a pet after they die is not unusual. Bereavement researchers describe these ongoing connections as continuing bonds. A systematic review of pet loss research found that continuing bonds can sometimes provide comfort and support people as they adjust to loss. The more useful question is not, should I still have this? But we do judge ourselves in that way. But let's work together to be curious and maybe ask, what role is it playing in my life right now? Does it comfort me? Does it help me remember? Or has the fear of anything happening to it become overwhelming? Now, these are all different situations, and they're individual to the person who has lost their pet. And they deserve curiosity, as I said, rather than judgment. This seems like a simple shift, but it is not. It can be really hard, and it takes time and support. Do I have to wash it, move it, or throw it away? Absolutely not. There is no grief timetable that says the blanket must be washed after a particular amount of time. There is no manual that says that toys must be put away after, let's say, 3 months, or the bed removed after even 6 months. You can say, I'm not ready to decide today. Notice those last 2 words, not today. You do not have to make a forever decision. And if one day you notice that your pet scent is fading, that can bring another wave of grief and can activate other losses in your life. But how about if you try stepping back for a minute, even taking a deep breath, so that you can look at the bigger picture? Fading of their scent is not the fading of your relationship. You will always have that memory of your pet. Your relationship was created through thousands of moments, not contained in that one object. So another decision, what can I do? Well, you have choices. You can definitely leave the object where it is, or you can put it somewhere safe. You might seal a blanket or toy in a container just for now. And eventually, you may decide to wash it and keep it, or decide you no longer need to keep it at all. There isn't one emotionally correct answer. Instead of asking, what am I supposed to do with this? Let's work together. Or why don't you try your curiosity and say, what feels manageable for me today? Another decision. Should I go for counseling? It's really a discussion, because sometimes keeping an object is simply comforting, but sometimes it represents something bigger. Maybe guilt, regret, loneliness, or the circumstances of your pet's death, or the fear that changing their belongings means moving farther away from them. Or it may activate older losses that you haven't resolved. So counseling isn't about someone telling you it's time to wash it or get rid of it. Not at all. It is just a safe place where you can work together to express how you feel. Putting this into words and asking other questions about why has this become so difficult? What am I afraid this change will mean? What do I need right now? Can help you bring answers that you might want to talk about. So if that blanket is still sitting beside you, that dirty toy is still where your pet left it, or the food bowl hasn't moved, maybe you can gently, after watching this, move from what's wrong with me to what does this mean to me? It's hard. Maybe it means comfort. Let's put it into words, connection, memory, love. But you don't have to wash it, move it, or throw it away today. There's no timetable or manual about grief. And perhaps it was never really about the blanket, the toy, the bed, or the bowl. It was about who used it, slept on it, played with it, or what it meant to you in so many other ways. If one of your pet's belongings is carrying feelings that are difficult to sort through on your own, especially while still having to work, being a parent maybe, being a partner, those are exactly the kinds of things we can talk about together. So if you would like to talk to me or learn more about how I can help, please visit my website, petlossandbereavement.com, and then click on Talk to Me. I'm so glad that you have watched this important video. Please subscribe to this channel. And before you go, I'd like to hear from you in the comments. only if it is okay for you. Here's another question for you. Is there something belonging to your pet that you still can't bring yourself to wash, move, or put away? Let's continue this conversation. Take care and see you next time.